I don't care what nobody else says on this internet. How do I actually create multiple streams of income? You're like, but I'm broke, so that seems like a waste of time. I'm encouraging you. I'm giving you the real tea. Hey girl, welcome back to our weekly FaceTime call. And today we're gonna be talking about how I went from sleeping in my car, yes girl, you heard me right, sleeping in my car, making $0 to working for myself, being a faith-based entrepreneur, having my first 1K day. We're gonna be jumping all into it. We're gonna be talking about all of that and how you can do the same without all of the fluff, without all of the gimmicks, without all of the tricks, because is it possible for you starting from zero to make 7 streams of income? Absolutely. Is it possible for you to leave your 9-to-5 and really embark on a journey of being your own boss, taking care of your kids, and enjoying time freedom? Absolutely. So grab your tea, grab your notepad. I wrote all of the things down. Can you see? We have a lot to go through, okay? Can you see that? Yeah. Let's just jump into it. Before we actually get into the tips, I want to be transparent with you and tell you all the ways that I make income online. And I wrote them all down. The first one is coaching. The second one is a membership site. The third one is YouTube AdSense. The fourth one is digital products. The fifth one is affiliate marketing, mainly with my Amazon storefront. Going live on TikTok. You know, when you go live on TikTok and people send gifts, I've made money from TikTok live. And the final one is brand partnerships. Technically right now I have 5 active streams of income, but I included 7 because I could still at any given moment activate these other 2 streams of income, which is TikTok lives and then the second one, brand partnerships. So those are all the ways that I make income. And side note, everything that I share with you in this video is something that I personally have seen coin dollars in my bank account. It's not something that I Googled. It's not something that I read in a book. It's not, I didn't go on ChatGPT. No, everything that I share with you in this video is something that has brought dollars into my bank account. Everything that I mentioned in this video, if there's a link, if there's something that I feel like will be helpful to you, everything will be in the description box. Click the links down below. And if you want me to elaborate on anything that I'm talking about in today's video, because I'm gonna run through it very quickly, it is a lot. So if you want me to elaborate on anything that I mentioned in this video, then please be sure to leave a comment so I know what to make my next video on. We're gonna jump into it. The very first tip is we have to understand where we are and we have to understand what we currently have in our possessions. Because I guarantee you 100% girl, whatever you have is enough to get started. Remember, I was sleeping in my car. I only had a car and a phone. Most people will be looking at that situation and be like, well, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing to get started. I don't have a house. I don't have a bed. I don't even have a place to take a shower. Like, I have nothing. And so I promise you that if you're looking at your situation, whether you just have a car, whether you just have a phone, whether you just have a house, have an apartment, whatever you have currently right now in your possession is enough for you to move out of your current situation. Like, side note, hold on, let me just give you the little bit of a backstory of like how I get started, because I say, oh, I started from sleeping in my car, but people kind of, they hear that and they're like, wait, she doesn't look like a type of person that would be sleeping in her car. And like, were you actually sleeping in your car? Girl, I'm gonna tell you, okay? And so we're gonna move on to step number 2 in a second, and if you want to just skip over to step number 2, I'll put the timestamp on the screen for you so you can just skip past this little story time. But 2019, me and my daughter slept in my SUV. We were in a brand new state, didn't have family around, didn't know anybody, and I had $50 to my name. I knew that I could not stay there. So I rented a storage unit. We put all of our personal belongings in there. And so we could have some room. We could set the seat backs. We could turn it into a bed because we were in a brand new state. We didn't have an address. So I couldn't get an address. I couldn't get a PO box without having a lease. And I couldn't get a lease without having income. And I couldn't couldn't get income without having an address. So I was just chasing my tail at that point. And so this is when I started doing side hustles, which will bring us into our next point, point number 2. So point number 2 is use side hustles wisely. And what I mean by this is not all side hustles are created equal. Side hustles have definitely been on the trend, especially after COVID. But I did majority of my side hustles in 2019 or at the start of COVID. And so some of the side hustles that I'm gonna mention in this video, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them for 2024 or 2025. So if you want me to do on what side hustles I would recommend for 2024 and 2025, then let me know down below so I can make that video for you. But in this section, I'm gonna tell you what side hustles I did in 2019 to start making money and which ones paid me the most. The very first one that I did when I only had my phone and my car is I started doing food deliveries. And the first company that I started with was a company called Postmates. Postmates is not even a company anymore. It's now called Uber Eats. So I can't attest to working or driving for Uber Eats. I can only attest to my experience when I was driving with Postmates. The second side hustle that I did was Instacart. It's a grocery delivery service. I also worked for their competitor, which is Shipt. I don't think Shipt is as widely known as Instacart, but it is also a grocery delivery service. I also did Grubhub, which obviously is a food delivery service. And the last 2 side hustles are side hustles that you can do working from home. The first one is rev.com, and this is a platform where you transcribe videos or audio messages. You just type out what you hear audibly and you send that in, and they pay you based on the transcriptions that you do. And the last one is Fiverr, and Fiverr is a freelance website where you can go on there and you can sell your services, you can sell your skills. So whether you know graphic design, whether you know social media marketing, life coaching, what have you, they have endless possibilities on Fiverr. Now, I broke down and told you all of the side hustles that I did in that period of my life to earn income. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna give you the thesis because, like I said, not all side hustles are created equal. The side hustles that I would not recommend for you if you're a person that's looking to get into side hustles in 2024 and 2025, these are the side hustles that I would not recommend. It's not even worth your time. Rev.com is the very first one, and that's probably the only one that I would recommend as just, it's not worth your time. They're literally paying you pennies per hour. I'm sure it's even less now. I'm sure it's like half a penny. The top 3 that made me the most money was Postmates, Instacart, and Fiverr. With Postmates and Instacart, I was averaging anywhere from $500 to $700 a week. So I was making some legit bill money. Also with Fiverr, it was slow getting started, but once I actually did get started, I made well over $1,000 to $2,000 on Fiverr. Step number 3, once you are bringing in some sort of income. Now, some of y'all already have a 9-to-5. This is where you're gonna wanna start to listen up. But some of y'all are starting from $0 and 0 cents. So once you start earning income from either a side hustle or a 9-to-5 or a part-time job, then we're gonna work on step 3. You're gonna wanna make sure that before you start step 3, whatever income you're getting from either your 9-to-5, your side hustle, or your part-time job, you're going to want to make sure that it is not consuming 100% of your time and 100% of your energy. Is it possible for you to work a 9-to-5 and still pursue the vision that God has given you, and still pursue multiple streams of income, and still pursue all of these things? Absolutely. But if you have a 9-to-5 that is totally taxing on you, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It is not impossible. You need to find side hustles that are yielding a good amount of money, but not taking all your time. So step 3, you're gonna start your social media platform. You're gonna start either your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube. You're gonna start all of that, girl. I'm gonna give you my recommendation on the 2 platforms that I recommend that you start, regardless of if you wanna be a social media influencer. Okay, can I just say that? Regardless of if you wanna take brand deals, you need to start a social media presence, because if you are gonna make multiple streams of income, I know people have been lying on this internet saying that you do not need a platform to make money, which in the beginning you don't. But if you want to generate any sort of serious income, any sort of multiple streams of income, you are gonna need an audience to sell that to. You can't just create a digital product and create a website and hope and pray that people are just gonna stumble across the products and services that you have. So step 3 is crucial. If you want to build multiple streams of income, you need to build an audience to sell it to. I don't care what nobody else says on this internet. I'm giving you the real tea because I've been lied to. I'm tired of the lies. I'm setting the record straight. You need a platform. You need an audience to sell your products and services to. And the good news about that is it has never been more easier than right now, today, yes, today, to start your platform and grow an audience. It doesn't take years and years as it did in the past. You can get started. I've been seeing people get monetized in 7 weeks, in 10 weeks. Like, you can get started today, but make sure you have some income flowing in so that you can work on your social media presence. So if you are saying, okay, yes, I want to start social media, I don't know where to start, these are the 2 platforms that I would highly recommend, and I'm going to give you my experience of why I recommend these 2 platforms. The first platform, obviously, is the one that you're on, YouTube. I love YouTube for the sake of you can build a loyal audience, you can build your community, you can find your tribe, you can find your group of people that you're called to serve. You can find them on YouTube. And also, YouTube has better income earning opportunities. Now, if you're going to do TikTok or Instagram, you can still make money off of these platforms by, especially on TikTok, you can go live, people can give you gifts, or you can use it to generate brand partnerships. So there are alternative methods where you can make more money on these short form content platforms, but I recommend starting with a YouTube first and then dabbling into a short form platform. And the one that I recommend is TikTok. The benefits of TikTok is that there's an immense amount of growth that you can experience on TikTok. So if you're looking to grow fast and quickly, you can do that on TikTok. But here's a caveat, here's the catch, okay? Just because you can grow fast doesn't mean that you have built a loyal and committed audience to you. You might just build a large group of eyeballs on you. Doesn't mean that they're actually going to support you. Doesn't mean that they're actually in the end going to buy from your brand or your company or support you in any way. And the last thing that I would say in regards to building your social media presence is that it should not be the end all be all goal. Social media, whether that be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, is just a vehicle. As you're creating content, it should align with the vision that God has given you. And if you haven't written down your vision, girl, I don't know where you've been. Check out this video where I walk you through step by step on how to do that. Also, check down the description or the pinned comment where you can actually get help with writing your vision and get the clarity that you need. But when you're starting social media, you should start social media with a purpose. So let's go on to point number 4. Point number 4, and this is probably the main important question that you've probably been wondering this whole time. Like, how do I actually create multiple streams of income? And I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer that in this section. At this point, if you've been following along in the video, number 1, you already understand where you are and what you have, and you're using that to generate income using side hustles, or you're working your 9 to 5. Number 2, you're building your social media audience. You're building your social presence. And so this is going to tie into point number 4. When you are building your social media presence, you are not just building a platform to sell a product. And I think a lot of people get that confused. They want to create a social media platform because they have a book or they have a shirt or they have a candle or they have something that they want to sell. And immediately on the first video, all they're doing is saying, hey, buy my product. Hey, buy my product, buy my product. I have a product, you should buy it. And what they don't realize is that people don't care about the product, right? They care about the value that you bring for free 99. So that draws me into my first point in this section, which is when you're creating social media, you literally have to, you can't fake the funk, okay? You really can't fake the funk. People, they got intuition, okay? They got discernment. People can feel energy. So you actually have to get on camera, show up on your social media platforms, and actually provide value for free without getting a dime. And you're like, but I'm broke, so that seems like a waste of time. I've already given you ways that you can make money outside of social media, outside of building your platform. But when you first get started on social media, you are actually going to have to give your stuff away for free. Okay? You're gonna have to give value for free, actual value, whether that's education, entertainment, inspiration, motivation, encouragement. You are going to have to show up and give yourself away for free, and it actually has to be helpful. You cannot fake the funk here. And I'm gonna tell you why this is the secret sauce that nobody's actually even talking about, or very few people are actually talking about. Because when you show up and you give out free stuff, you just show up and provide value, and the sales and the money will follow you, because it is psychology. If I show up and I'm just showing up and providing value and it actually helps someone, I promise you, you will never have to sell. You will never have to say, oh, please buy my product. Can you just support a small bit? You will never have to do that. When you show up and provide value for free, because people are just like, if she's providing value for free, I need to know what the paid content looks like. Now we're going to talk about how to do this actually, how to actually walk this out. So once you started building your social media, you created your YouTube, you created your TikTok, and you're showing up and you're providing value, then you're going to listen to your comments, you're going to listen to their pain points, you're going to listen to their struggles, you're going to listen to what they are asking questions on, and then you are going to create products around those things. When I started my YouTube, I had a mindset of, I'm going to share my Christian faith. I'm going to share lifestyle content that allows me to walk out my Christian faith. And don't get me wrong, majority of my content is based on faith, but I listened to my audience. I had no intention of doing a YouTube coaching program. I had no intention of like telling people and teaching people about how to start their YouTubes. That was not in the plan for me. So I say all of that to say, once you have built your audience, you need to listen to their needs, and you need to listen to what they're asking for, and you need to be able to recognize what they're struggling with. Once you have done that, you've listened to your audience, you know their needs, then you're going to create a website and you're going to start selling your products and your services. And so if you have been following all of the steps that I said in this video, at some point, and when I say at some point, I mean like 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, at some point you're going to get monetized on YouTube. That's going to be one stream. Maybe you're going to do your Amazon storefront. That's going to be another stream. Maybe you're going to start coaching. Maybe you're going to start selling your services, selling your products. Those are all going to be other streams of income. Maybe you're going to create digital products, ebooks, courses, all of those things. If you've followed everything in this video to a T, after you do all of these things, you will have multiple streams of income. In honor of keeping it 100% real with you, girl, one thing that I will say is that everything that I mentioned in this video is simple, meaning that it's not complex, it's not rocket science. Now, does that mean it's not hard? It is still hard. Like, you still have to put in hard work. But, being broke, sleeping in your car, struggling to pay your rent, struggling to do and pay all of your bills, that is also hard. I'm going to challenge you to pick which hard you're going to do, because creating multiple streams of income, working for yourself, and being an entrepreneur is not any harder than what you're already experiencing right now in your current situation. If you're struggling, if you're broke, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're going to a 9-to-5, which you hate, it's not any harder than that. That's what I know from personal experience. One last thing and I will let you go. If by the end of this video you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna try to see if I can create multiple streams of income, or I'm gonna try to see if I can leave my 9-to-5, I'm encouraging you, I'm telling you, take it from me, because I was the type of person that said, I'm gonna try and see. And when I gave it a try, girl, it failed miserably. So if you're the type of person that you got to the end of this video and you're like, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna see if this is gonna work for me, you already have the wrong mindset. You have to trust and believe that it will work for you, because if it worked for me, it can absolutely 100% work for you. Your only job is to trust and believe and then do. Trust and believe and then do. Walk out these steps, because this is everything that I did to go from zero, making $0 to making my first 1K day and working for myself full time in this current season that I'm in. Everything that I've been able to explain and accomplish in this video, all glory and honor belong to God. I just want to make that clear before I end out this video. So if you have God on your side, there's no way that you can fail. So I pray that this has helped you. I pray that this has blessed you. And I love you. I love you. I love you so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.